The road stretched out, a frozen ribbon under a bruised sky. Snowdrifts climbed the edges, trees sagged, heavy with ice. Clara Evans drove carefully. Her old sedan skidded slightly on unseen patches of black ice. The heater whined, fighting a losing battle. 4 degrees, the dashboard glowed. Wind rattled the window frames. She shivered, pulling her coat tighter. Home felt impossibly far away. The world outside was silent, white, empty. Then, a dark shape snagged her attention. Off to the right, half hidden behind a thick stand of pines. Just a shadow, a broken limb coated in ice. Her heart gave an odd thump. She slowed the car, wiped condensation from the windshield with her glove. Headlights sliced through the gloom, illuminating the trees. Her breath caught. Her stomach twisted violently. It wasn't a shadow, it was a dog. A German shepherd, tied to a thick pine tree, motionless. A statue sculpted from snow and suffering. "Oh no," she whispered. The words were barely audible. Who could do such a thing? Leave an animal tethered in this lethal cold? She hit the brakes. The car slid sideways before stopping. She didn't think, didn't hesitate. She threw the door open. The Arctic air hit her like a physical blow, stealing her breath. She ignored it. She scrambled out, her boots sinking deep into the fresh snow. She ran, plunging through the drifts towards the trees, towards the still figure. The closer she got, the worse it was. The dog was skeletal, thin beneath a coat stiff with ice, ribs pressed against the matted fur. Snow had drifted high around his body. He hadn't moved. Not an inch. The rope around his neck was thick, dark, and frozen solid. It disappeared into the fur, cinched brutally tight. It looked less like a restraint and more like a noose, frozen into the bark of the tree. Tears sprang to Clara's eyes, freezing instantly on her lashes. She fell to her knees beside him. The snow soaked through her jeans immediately. The cold was intense. "Hey," she whispered, her voice shaking. "Hey boy, can you hear me?" Silence, stillness. Was he already gone? Panic constricted her chest. She reached out a trembling hand, pulled off her glove, pressed her bare fingers against his side through the icy coat, searching desperately for a sign. Any sign. An agonizing moment passed. Then, she felt it, faint, unbelievably faint. A shallow rise and fall beneath her fingertips. He was alive. A choked sob escaped her lips. Relief flooded her, sharp and painful, quickly followed by a surge of desperate urgency. She had to free him, now, before that tiny spark faded completely. She grabbed the frozen rope, pulled with all her strength. It was like pulling on iron. It didn't move. The ice held it fast, fused to the tree bark, biting into the dog's neck. Anger flared, hot and fierce, warring with the numbing kernel. Someone had done this deliberately, tied him here to die. "Hold on," she murmured, her voice thick. "Just hold on. I'll get you out." She tore off her other glove. Her fingers screamed in protest as they touched the icy rope. Burning kernel, she ignored it, clawed at the knot, tried to find purchase, tried to loosen it. It was useless. The knot was encased in solid ice, locked tight. The dog let out a tiny, weak whimper, a sound of pure misery that broke Clara's heart. His body gave a violent shudder, then fell still again. His eyes cracked open, just slits, dull, empty, devoid of hope. Clara looked around frantically. Snow, trees, ice, nothing sharp, nothing strong. Her keys in her coat pocket. Maybe it was her only chance. Her fingers were numb, stiff. She fumbled in her pocket, finally grasped the cold metal, pulled them out, selected the sturdiest key. She jammed the tip into the icy knot, twisted, scraped, chipped away at the frozen rope. Desperate, frantic, the dog whimpered again, a low, guttural sound. He tried to lift his head, just barely. The effort seemed immense. Then he slumped back down. Clara worked faster, harder, scraping, twisting. Her knuckles hit the rough bark, scraped raw, started to bleed. She barely noticed. A small crack appeared in the ice around the knot. Hope surged. She forced the key deeper, levered it. Crack. The ice splintered, broke apart slightly. Enough. She dropped the keys, grabbed the rope with both bare hands, pulled, threw her weight into it. Her arms screamed, her palms burned. The rope groaned, resisted. Then, suddenly, with a sharp snap, it gave way. The tension released. The frozen knot unraveled, fell loose, away from his neck. He was free, but the relief was instantly replaced by terror. As the rope fell away, the shepherd collapsed sideways, a boneless slump into the deep snow. He made no sound, lay utterly still. No, Clara gasped. Had she been too late? Had freeing him been the final straw? No, please, no. She scrambled closer. Without thinking, she ripped off her own heavy coat. The wind cut through her thin sweater underneath. She wrapped the coat tightly around the dog's fragile, icy body. His fur felt like frozen stone beneath the fabric. She pressed her hand against his chest, searching, waiting, praying. A flicker, a tiny, almost imperceptible rise and fall. He was breathing, just. He needed warmth. He needed help. Now, she slid her arms carefully beneath him. He whimpered faintly as she lifted. He was terrifyingly light, a bag of bones wrapped in ice. She cradled him against her chest, trying to shield him, trying to share her own body heat. "I've got you," she whispered, her voice choked. "I won't leave you." She turned, staggered back towards the car. Each step was heavy, difficult. The snow dragged at her boots. The wind tore at her unprotected arms and face. The dog felt like a lead weight. She stumbled, nearly falling, but held on tight. She reached the car, fumbled with the passenger door handle, pulled it open. Carefully, gently, she laid the dog across the seat. He slumped against it, lifeless. She slammed the door, ran around to the driver's side, jumped in, started the engine, cranked the heater to maximum, aimed the vents directly at the dog. She slammed the gearshift into drive, pressed the accelerator. The tires spun, then caught. The car shot forward onto the treacherous road. Her heart hammered against her ribs. The nearest vet clinic was miles away. 20 minutes, maybe more, time he didn't have. She glanced at him. His eyes were half-lidded, glassy, unseeing. His breathing was a shallow whisper against the roar of the heater. She reached over, pulled her coat tighter around him. It wasn't enough. He was too. Colonel hypothermia was winning. She pulled off her thin, useless gloves, took a deep breath, pressed her bare hands firmly against his side, over the coat. The cold radiating from him was shocking, intense. She gasped but kept her hands there, leaning closer, sharing her warmth, willing him to live. One hand steered, the other pressed against his fragile body. "Stay with me," she pleaded, tears streaming down her face. "Come on, boy, fight. Please fight." The car sped through the white landscape. Headlights cut through the swirling snow. Minutes stretched into an eternity. He remained motionless, still. Was she losing him? Then, a sound, faint, raspy. Her head snapped towards him. His nose twitched. A tiny broken whimper escaped his lips, different from before. Not pain, something else. Yes, Clara choked out, hope surging. "That's it, keep fighting." She pressed her hand harder against him. Was he warmer? Maybe. She floored the accelerator. The car flew faster, towards the distant lights, towards help, towards life. Clara's car skidded to a halt outside the Westfield Veterinary Clinic. The emergency sign flickered, casting a cold blue light. She barely put the car in park before throwing open her door. She rushed to the passenger side, gathered the limp dog still wrapped in her coat into her arms. "Help!" she yelled towards the clinic doors, her voice cracking. "Please, somebody help." The doors burst open. A woman in scrubs rushed out. "Bring him in," she urged, her eyes taking in the scene quickly. Clara stumbled inside. The warmth hit her, making her dizzy. She followed the tech into a brightly lit treatment room, laid the shepherd gently on the examination table. He didn't stir. The tech listened with a stethoscope. Her expression grew serious. Heartbeat is weak, thready, respiration very shallow, no readable temp, severe hypothermia. She looked up. "Get Dr. Shaw stat." Clara wrung her hands. "I found him tied to a tree," she explained quickly, words tumbling out, frozen. "I don't know how long." A calm, authoritative woman entered. "Dr. Helen Shaw, what have we got?" she asked briskly, already moving towards the dog. The tech gave a quick report. Dr. Shaw nodded. "Okay. Warm Roman 4 fluids, wide open. Heat pads, oxygen. Let's get his core temp up." Now, the team moved efficiently. Blankets, catheter, oxygen mask. Monitors beeped softly. Clara stepped back, feeling helpless, watching them work to save the life she'd pulled from the snow. Minutes crawled by. Dr. Shaw monitored his vitals constantly. "Pulse is stabilizing slightly, Doctor," Shaw announced after a while. "Temp is slowly rising. That's positive." Clara swallowed hard. "Will he?" Will he make it, doctor? Shaw met her eyes. It's too early to say for sure. He's severely malnourished and dehydrated, besides the hypothermia. There could be organ damage, frostbite. She paused, looking at the dog. But he has a strong will. He's fighting. Still fighting. Clara clung to those words. She moved closer to the table, rested a hand near his head. You're safe now, she whispered. His ear twitched. Just a flicker? But it was something. Later, doctor. Shaw found Clara in the small waiting room. Clara jumped up. How is he? He's holding his own, doctor. Shaw said. Vitals are more stable. Temperature is coming up into the registerable range now. Still critical, but better. Relief washed over Clara. Can I see him, doctor? Shaw nodded. He's still mostly unconscious, but come. He lay swaddled in blankets on the table. The oxygen mask was still in place. The monitors beeped steadily. He looked incredibly fragile. Clara stood beside him. Hey, boy, she whispered. His eyelids fluttered weakly. His tail gave the faintest thump against the padding. A tiny sign of recognition. Hope bloomed in Clara's chest. He'll need a lot of care, doctor, Shaw said softly. We ran tests. Severe malnutrition, dehydration, moderate frostbite on his ears and paws, but no obvious signs of major organ failure yet. She paused. We also found something else. Clara looked up. What? He has a microchip. Clara's breath caught. An owner, doctor. Shaw nodded slowly. Registered to someone here in town. A Mr. Henderson. Clara frowned. Henderson. The name sounded familiar. But doctor? Shaw added, her voice tight. No one has reported a German Shepherd missing. No report filed. Left tied to a tree. The pieces clicked into place with sickening clarity. Henderson, Arthur Henderson. Owned the big hardware store. Always smiling. Shaking hands. How could Arthur Henderson? Clara breathed, horrified. Are you sure? Checked the registry twice, doctor. Shaw confirmed grimly. Clara felt sick. The friendly facade. The hidden cruelty. She looked at the innocent dog fighting for his life. What now? Legally, we have to contact him, doctor. Shaw explained. Offer him the chance to reclaim the dog. Reclaim him. Clara felt a surge of protective anger. After what he did, we can't let him have him back. Procedure, doctor. Shaw sighed, but frankly, I doubt he'll want him. Given the circumstances. She saw the look on Clara's face. What are you thinking? I want him, Clara said firmly. Instantly, without hesitation. If Henderson doesn't want him, I want to adopt him. I'll take care of him, doctor. Shaw studied her, saw the determination, the compassion. Okay, Clara, let's make the call. If he surrenders ownership, he's yours. They went to Dr. Shaw's office. Clara sat rigidly as the vet dialed. The phone rang. A gruff voice answered. Yeah, Mr. Henderson. Dr. Shaw, Westfield Vet Clinic. We have your registered German Shepherd here. Found nearly frozen. That mutt. Henderson cut her off, scoffing. Thought he'd be dead by now. Got rid of him days ago. Clara gasped, covering her mouth. Got rid of him, doctor. Shaw repeated calmly. Yeth, useless animal. Do what you want with him. Put him down. I don't care, doctor. Shaw remained professional. So you are surrendering ownership? Yeah, whatever. Not my dog? Clara snatched the phone. You left him to die, she cried, voice shaking with rage. Henderson chuckled coldly. Relax, lady. It's just a dog, doctor. Shaw gently took the phone back. Thank you, Mr. Henderson. We'll handle it. She hung up. Silence filled the office. Doctor? Shaw looked at Clara. He's yours. A soft whimper came from the treatment room. Clara ran back. The dog lay there, still weak, still blanketed, but his eyes were open, clear, focused, looking right at her. Seeing her, tears streamed down Clara's face. She reached out, stroked his head gently. You're safe, she whispered. You're home now. His tail thumped. Weakly, but undeniably. Thump, thump, against the table. He knew. He understood. He was safe. He had survived. And he wasn't alone anymore.